performance and handling. Ford, the conversation about each of these vehicles really should start with the engines, fantastic iterations, both of the classic American V8. The 5.0-liter in the Mustang is a jewel, fast revving and wickedly powerful at 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. What's more, the Coyote V8 is the better sounding of the two. The sport exhaust is just loud enough to wake up the neighbors, but without causing them to call the cops on you from bed, too. Mustang drivers can put all the power down better than ever before, too. With the independently sprung rear suspension, the Ford feels less truck-like than its forebears, though I would argue, it has perhaps lost a bit of the charm that helped build it into an icon, too. Still, with the optional magnetic dampers and varied ride modes, it's a versatile thing that's as satisfying blasting down a back road as cruising Main Street on Friday night. Chevy, the Camaro SS has a massive 6.2-liter lump under the hood, which makes it feel a little bit more American than the Mustang's engine. Sure, horsepower is down versus the Ford at just 455, but torque comes in at 455 pounds-to-foot and you can really feel it. The V8 is so grunty one can easily start out in second gear if you're feeling a bit lazy, or cruise forever in fourth without obvious lugging. Our only complaint is that the SS could be a little louder, but it's far from quiet, still. Even in convertible form, the Camaro drives like an out-and-out sports car. The car is really easy to point and go on a back road, while still feeling very at home making 11s at stoplights with crushing straight-line acceleration. The Mustang has better visibility, which makes it easier to drive fast, but ultimately the Camaro is still the more rewarding machine in which to go hunting corners. Practicality. Ford, many convertibles are relegated to duty as weekend toys. While a car like the Mustang might fill that role, it is still a model that people daily drive, or at least drive frequently. If you're thinking about either car for a high-use situation, the Ford stands out. The higher, more upright seating position, and lower bodywork, give the Ford a huge advantage in traffic, especially highway congestion. It's just so much easier to see the corners of the Mustang, so making use of the available power to shoot gaps in traffic is simple. Another gigantic Mustang advantage is its, relatively, huge trunk. Even with the top down, which doesn't steal space from the trunk, there's room for groceries or golf clubs. Pretty much anything you'd need day-to-day with the exception of new furniture. And, while I promise not to talk too much about the transmissions, I must say that the Tanit helped the Mustang return far better fuel economy, low 20s with a lot of aggressive driving, than I could manage in the manual trans Chevy. This transmission hunt scares quite a lot, and can be unpleasant in commuter traffic, but it's using a lot less fuel in the process. Chevy, even with the top down, this car is hard as hell to see out of. Driving on a busy highway is nerve-wracking. I probably triple-checked my mirrors with every lane change, simply because the side and rear sight lines are such crap. The trunk is tiny with the top down, the rear seats are less usable, though Mustangs are far from roomy, and the fuel econ, observed, is worse. Styling and interior. Ford, as a coupe, I'd give the style points to Mustang over Camaro any day of the week. But I don't love the looks of this car, especially not in profile view. As a convertible, with the top down the Ford really flattens out, making it look a bit ungainly and weirdly proportioned, even on those nice big wheels. Inside the cabin is neat, modern, and really easy to live with. There's enough head and legroom for even tall drivers. And while the flat seats may be too relaxed for the Mustang coupe, the convertible can better get away with trading some bolstering for a little more long drive comfort. Chevy, the hips and curves and interesting lines of the Camaro's body simply do the drop-top form better, at least to my eyes. Top up or down, this is the shape I'd prefer to look at. With that said, I personally don't love the Hot Wheels styling of this special edition car. The hood stripes, flashy wheels, and badges just look a little kitsch. The good people of the city of Detroit disagree, though, if the many impromptu conversations I had in parking lots and at gas pumps are to be counted. A bright orange Camaro turns out to be a popular talking point. Oh, and it's worth noting that the Camaro convertible is still on sale with the older front fascia. This might be your last chance to buy the current Camaro before it gets ugly. The updated model arrives. Inside, and again this is personal, I just like the Alcantara-clad steering wheel, neat porthole vents, and big glossy infotainment screen more than the more discreet Ford cabin, convertible stuff. Ford, when we shot the video portion of this comparison, Jake Holmes made the very good point that the Mustang's soft top is much faster to stow than the Camaro's. Totally fair. But beyond speediness, I'd argue the top is worse in most other ways. The powered top still has a mechanical release. There are two plastic covers used to hide the hinges when the top is down, and they live in the trunk and are fiddly to attach, and you can't put the top up or down at all while the car is moving. What's more, with the Mustang's higher seating position, I noticed wind spillover in the Ford more than I did in the Chevy, so highway driving is less enjoyable. Chevy, read the above, imagine the opposite, and you'll understood why the Camaro stands out in convertibleness, a point of measure I just invented. The fully powered top is slower to operate, but you can do it when slowly rolling up to or away from a stoplight, which is handy. When stowed, it's neatly covered by a metal deck lid, all neat and tidy. And, because you're able to sit so low in the car, even someone as tall as me isn't much bothered by the wind, and the stereo sounds better in the open air. Easy winner here.